is DDS. From the DDS studios, we are your hosts, Blake Belton and Bradley Newberry. And from the man cave, it is the one, the only Matthew Two-Tone Blue Parker. Parker, welcome back, sir.
It's good to be here, sir. We are counting down, and we are almost to one of the best times of the year.
Absolutely. We all know that everybody out there loves watching this show around draft times, and we're going to talk a little bit about that tonight. We're going to give you a little NFL draft preview. We're going to talk about some stuff that's going on in the world of sports. Newberry?
Yeah, man.
Tell me a little bit about what else we're going to be talking about.
I mean, we're back. Thank you for hanging in there with us, enjoying our shorts. Man, it's all NFL centric, man. We've got draft, we've got news we need to catch up on from when we were last on the air live. And
there's been a lot that's happened. We had some the Masters has happened. I mean, we've had some college football spring games have all happened now. A whole lot of stuff going on right now. But before we get going, guys, you know the drill. Down below, hit that like and subscribe button. Share this with all your friends out there. Give us a follow and a rumble on Rumble. Download this audio podcast on your favorite podcasting platform. Check us out on all our social, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at DDS Sports Talk. Newberry,
yes,
let's get it going.
I'm going straight to Matthew Parker. And my question is, who is getting drafted at number 2?
Man, that is the question of. I'm going to say right now that I'm going to lead. I think it's going to be Tyree Wilson. And
Houston stays there?
I think so. That's where I'm leaning right this minute. There's a lot of things that could change this or things that could solidify this. Houston's a spot that Trey Lance could end up at. I mean, there's so many things happening right now. This is very reminiscent to last year with your team, Brad. The rise of my God, my name just escaped me. Of number 1 overall pick.
Walker.
Thank you. Trayvon Walker. It's a traits type guy again that's just climbing up the board. I don't understand it. The production thing doesn't make sense to me. I think it should be Will Anderson if you're going to do something like that. But if you gun to my head right now, Tyree Wilson.
Blake, Houston has 2 picks in the top 12.
Oh, boy.
Picks. So they can afford to do something like this conceivably. I mean, something's going to fall to them. They're going to get a premium player at 12 too, it seems like.
Yeah, I mean, looking, though, at Houston, I mean, we're talking about an organization that's got a lot of making up to do from the absolute shitstorm that they have created there over the last several years. Getting 2 premium players, do we believe it is Houston becoming the new Jacksonville? Are they gonna Texan it up?
No,
is my question.
No. Sorry. No.
I mean, you would like to think that with 2, top 12 picks, you can't mess that up, right? You can't mess both of them up.
But that's not what Jacksonville did, Parker. Jacksonville spent a shitload of money in free agency, and
most ever.
They had the most ever, and they had a lot of premium picks because they were horrible and they were coached horribly under Urban Meyer. So I don't think that Houston's got the formula right now to do anything like sneak up on the Titans and go 9-8 and win the division. Nah, not this year.
I'll give you the one thing I will say about Houston, why I really think the whole Tyree Wilson thing might happen. Their new head coach, D'Amico Ryans, is a 49ers guy. That's where he came from, right? And the word is that he views Tyree Wilson as his Nick Bosa. And he knows what Nick Bosa could do for that 49ers defense. So I think if it's not a quarterback, it is going to be Tyree Wilson, although there is a chance the owner comes down and says, what the F? Have you seen our quarterbacks? You're taking CJ Stroud, and that's how that would happen. But I really think he views Tyree as Nick Bosa.
They can't be giving up on Davis Mills.
Right.
Case Keenum
neck himself.
Yeah, I mean, right now, the starting quarterback's not even Davis Mills. He's the backup. It'd be Case Keenum would be the guy there, and there is no way the McNair family is going to go for that. Now, while I do think that Tyree's the second pick, I still think they come out of this draft with a quarterback if they don't trade for Trey Lance. I really think at that 12 spot, one of these quarterbacks is going to slip. And as we might discuss later, I think they may trade to get above the Titans.
All right, I'm going to skip around a little bit. So
Do it,
I pose the question, who's number 2? I want to know who's Indy taking, because we want to know. We're AFC South people between the Titans and the Jags. What are the Colts going to do?
Hey guys, I said this on this pod like 4 months ago, and I'm sticking with it. They want Will Levis.
Hey, they got the colors right? Old Mayo boy, he would fit right in, I'm sure. Let the carousel continue, as far as I'm concerned.
Will Levis.
He is the favorite.
Huh?
He is the favorite to go to Indy. He's the favorite to be the number 2 pick right now. He is like, if you're putting money down, he is the guy that is linked with Indy more than anybody now.
Wow.
Could Indy go D-line if they don't go quarterback?
I think they have to walk out of this with a quarterback. I mean, unless they trade for somebody.
I mean, is there anybody other than Will Levis that you think is really on their radar? Is Anthony Richardson on the table
I don't think
at
Richardson
that point?
is, but maybe Stroud from Ohio State.
All of them. I could make a case from all of them. So CJ Stroud is probably be the safest pick, but Ballard is famously known for taking traits guys, and the 2 traits guys in this draft are Will Levis and the ultimate trait guy in Anthony Richardson. So who the hell knows what they do? I mean, Jim Irsay could walk in there and just say, who knows? They're one of those wild card teams. If I was, I would say either CJ Stroud or Will Levis, but Anthony Richardson would not surprise me.
Let's skip. I'm going to skip again. Number 6, the Detroit Lions. Will they pull the trigger and go D-line, Jalen Carter, and match him up with last year's rookie?
If he's still there, maybe. I really think that they're a target for Devin Witherspoon, the cornerback there. But that's another discussion we got to have, man. What happens right there if they have CJ Stroud at the top of their board and he slips? There are mocks out there right now that has the Lions trading up to 2 to go get Stroud. So if Carter's there, that would be a heck of a place for him. But the knock on Carter going there, we know Dan Campbell biting kneecaps. We want people to tear people's faces off. Hey, there's some rumors out there. Carter's not that fond of working out and practicing. So.
Well, Blake showed us some little drills.
Yeah, y'all saw our short. Check it out on our channel there. I mean, the drills that he ran, it was uninspired to say the least. To say that there was, it was more of walking with your shirt off is what it looked like.
Okay.
I mean, that's all I can say. It looked like a sweaty guy walking around with his shirt off, but he was actually supposed to be running a drill.
It feels like he's going top 10. Someone's going to bite. I don't know if I can mock him out of the top 10.
I mean, what do all these legal troubles really mean? How big does it play into GM's decisions?
Does Stetson Bennett have any? Sticking with Georgia?
Does he have any legal problems? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because he was supposed to be like a round 2-3 guy, right?
I mean, he's a perfect guy to go to the Raiders or to the Cowboys.
Speaking
they
of the
love
Raiders,
they love hiring criminals.
Yeah, guess who's at number 7? The Las Vegas Raiders. We're going to have to mock something to them. It's probably nothing that we'll get right.
I don't know.
I can't wait till we have the discussion on picking these because we're going to be all over the place and to come up with a consensus. Because, guys, I can make a pitch right here. Cornerback is probably their biggest need. Absolutely could also make the pitch. Hey, a quarterback falls, they are snatching them.
He's saying a quarterback for every team. I didn't know there were that many quarterbacks in this draft.
I'm saying we just don't know where they're going to go. If we have a guy go 1 and then not go 2 or 3 and then go 4, and Raiders are sitting there like, hey, 5 may not pick one at Seattle, 6 may not in Detroit, and all of a sudden you've got 2 quarterbacks off the board, and you get to 7, and they're like, well, hell, we got Jimmy G, but
Jimmy
Anthony
G.
Richardson is still on the board, or Will Levis, or whoever. If that's their top guy on the board, why wouldn't you pull it?
But what about number 8? The Atlanta Falcons? Will they jump the Raiders, or do they sit back and they're like, wait, man, we got our quarterback last year?
I think old Art down there's got his quarterback. I think that's who he wants.
All right. He's got
that's my opinion. I don't know.
Ritter?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I think he might think he has his quarterback. I think he's wrong.
I do too.
But to me, this is a Nolan Smith type thing. This is a defensive line. That is what I would say there. I mean, to me, it blows my mind why they wouldn't want Anthony Richardson. It seems like it would be perfect for them. But yeah,
what about Chicago next? Are they going wide receiver? Are they going to help out their quarterback?
Shit, they got to, right?
Are they going the Ohio State project?
I think they got to go Ohio State connection, right? They got to start loading up their wide receiver core, because according to Justin Fields, they wouldn't even be 5th string. The guys that they have now.
Yeah, you could convince me of it. I think they go tackle there. But again, there's also rumor out there. Let's say y'all are talking about Jalen Carter falling. There is a rumor that Pittsburgh Steelers have a deal in place to move to number 9 if he is still there. So do they trade out of that pick? They've been connected a lot to Broderick Jones. I hope, let me just say, for my sanity as a Titans fan, I hope they don't go JS.
And speaking of Titans, what about 11? I've heard a lot of rumors that they're subject to moving up to 3, Parker. Did they give it all away to trade up to number 3?
For what?
Will Levis.
I mean,
at number 3.
Do we want a big? Oh my gosh! I almost said an F word.
The Mayo.
Do we want a big steaming pile of shit at number 3? Is that what you're asking me?
But
no.
Then you don't get to draft anything for the next couple of years.
That's stupid. No, that's a dumb idea.
You've already got Ryan Tannehill.
No, you stay at 11. You get your offensive lineman. You ride it out with Tannehill, and you work maybe you get somebody for some value later.
Parker. So if you don't trade up to 3, Blake says you sit back and you draft offensive linemen. Do you draft maybe Hendon Hooker at 11?
Some people in the know say that's exactly what's going to happen. And it makes sense for this It makes sense for this Titans team. Honestly, if you think about it, you got Tannehill for another year.
Malik, they just sit together and read the books.
Malik will be on the fucking practice squad. Sorry, guys.
It just makes them have an active backup, though.
Hooker
won't be.
Why would he not be?
Maybe he will.
What are you talking about?
He's hurt.
No, I mean, he's built different.
He's hurt.
He's built
He
different.
hurt, coach.
But it does make sense. Let me throw you another crazy one out there.
All right.
How about we've got Tennessee of the South, Atlanta, right? Everybody's going to Atlanta. They used to be here because of their coach there. What happens if Arthur Smith, this is a crazy theory, but what happens if Arthur Smith has his quarterback and his quarterback is Ryan Tannehill?
Whoa!
And he's sitting there at 8, and the Titans want to move up to get Anthony Richardson or whatever, and to make that jump, it isn't picks. It's a quarterback. I'm just saying there are possibilities of I think the Titans, not just being a Titans fan saying this, I think this is the hardest pick to predict. I really do, because it could be a wide receiver. I've been on record for months saying JSN at this pick. It could be a tackle. It could be a quarterback. It could be defensive lineman if somebody falls. It could be. We could trade back, trade up. We don't know what Rand's going to do. This is a first time thing. We have no idea. We've gone from being one of the most non-analytical teams, let me put it nicely, to maybe the most analytical team. So no idea what we're doing here.
I'm with you. I mean, I still believe that we have to reestablish the foundation of our team, because we have nothing on the offensive line at the moment that I have any excitement about whatsoever. But hey, we're going to have to run with Rand here.
I would have been all in on offensive tackle until they signed Dillard, who looks like he's going to start at left tackle. If you go to the Titans website right now and you go to their depth chart, it's offline. I will tell you right now, as a fact, if they hit publish on that today, the starting left tackle would be Dillard. I can 100% tell you that's on the computer in that building. So just sitting back, if we look at it after the draft, right, and we sit there, in my head, it just makes sense of, oh yeah, what was the worst thing that we were at last year, other than obviously left tackle that might have been solved? We had nobody to catch the damn ball. Like, obviously we drafted a wide receiver. How did we not see that? I can just see hindsight being 2020 with that pick.
Good news, breaking. In the NFL, the Tennessee Titans signed wide receiver Chris Moore today. He's recently played for the Texans. Is this the slot guy? Is this a camp body? Who is Chris Moore to us?
He's the third best receiver on the team.
I mean, I'd put him in the slot.
He's a lot better than the other. Well, Phillips is in there.
Kyle Phillips spot.
Yeah, who's Kyle Phillips? Who?
What?
Who?
Come on,
man. Got to get on the field.
I'll tell you what, though, he's better than the other Chris we had last year, Conley, who also got signed by, I forgot who.
That guy just wanted to check. I've had a few of those come through Duval.
Nashville was the place to come last year to get checks.
That guy.
That's for sure. I don't know. There's a lot of holes that need to be filled on the roster I'm with you, Parker. I mean, one of the biggest things that we always talked about was Tannehill doesn't have anybody to throw to, even whenever he does have time. So, there.
I just don't want him to trade. I honestly, personally, and I'll spin it. Don't you worry either way. But I don't want him to give up picks. I don't want to trade up. I don't want that. If your quarterback that you like falls to you and you want to take him, go for it. I'm down. I don't care. But I don't want to give. We need so much. Like you said, like we wouldn't be picking forever. To move from 12 to 3, we've seen that. We saw San Francisco give up 2 1s and a 3 to do that just a couple of years ago.
Yeah. It's going to be madness. I mean, we're going to have, so we've got this pod. We're going to release our NFL draft predictions.
Yep.
We're going to have a round 1 reaction show. And we know the heat that brought last year with the AJ Brown news. And then we're going to have an AFC South, around the AFC South draft grades.
Mm-hmm.
We're not done talking draft by a long mile.
No, I mean, I think the conversation has just started here. We're not even scratching the surface here because, I mean, whenever you start talking trades, I mean, there are so many different directions this could go. And there's always subject to be at least one blockbuster on trade or on draft night. I mean, unfortunately, the Titans were the ones that fell victim to that last year.
Mm-hmm.
Just to anger Titans fans out there, a quick story that I'd kind of heard last year, but didn't put 2 and 2 together until today. Heard something about it. You know, Allen Robinson went to the Rams last year, and the team that wanted him the most was the Philadelphia Eagles. And at the last second, the Rams came in and offered more, so he went to the Rams. If that did not happen, A.J. Brown would have never been traded because it never would have, phone call never would have happened. So Allen Robinson going to the Rams is what made A.J. go there.
Golly. So many dominoes. So many dominoes have to fall. I see Newberry digging around on his phone over here. I'm afraid of what he's about to say.
This is a good segue. Thank you for joining us with the NFL Draft Preview Talk. We're going to go around the leagues, and I'm going to stick right here with Allen Robinson. We have a trade. The Pittsburgh Steelers have traded for wide receiver Allen Robinson and a 7th-round pick. The Rams get a 7th-round pick. The Rams get to pay $10.25 million of Allen Robinson's salary. It's another dump, Parker. They're getting rid of players and money.
I'll tell you right now, Allen Robinson effectively cost the Rams $26 million, and he had 33 catches.
Garbage.
But, you know, if I'm the Steelers, sign me up, man. It was just 2 years ago when this guy was good. So, hey, we'll swap 7th-rounders and pay a guy $5 million. Like, sure. I wish they'd have called the Titans. I would have given them a 5th.
Yeah, no risk there. Blake, other news. The Philadelphia Eagles made a huge commitment as we put out a short.
Oh, yes.
They signed their quarterback. to an NFL record deal. 5 years, $255 million, some ungodly guaranteed money. What do you think? Is this the right move? I know there's some other young quarterbacks that are like, hell yeah. Now I'm getting set to get paid.
mean, as far as quarterbacks in this league, yeah, they're really excited about this because that's just driving their market up. And I mean, look,
because they're better players.
I'll be honest with you. I'm a huge Jalen Hurts on a personal level guy. I mean, look, he went to the Super Bowl. I get that.
Yep.
He's a very talented player.
Yep.
Is he that? I mean, I don't know how to really judge money anymore in the NFL. It is. I guess they just are, printing money in these stadiums somewhere, because it is just incredible to me to look at the amount of money that's being thrown at people. Not that Jalen Hurts isn't good. I mean, he's great. But man, that's a big number. Really big. Didn't he get a no trade clause and all this other stuff? I think he did. Yeah.
He did. He did. He got $110 million signing bonus too. The no trade clause, to me, it sounds sweet to these guys. It's something to throw in. I don't think it means anything, because we're past that point. Because nowadays players just go, well, I don't want to play there. Don't trade me there because I won't play for that team. So they already kind of have a no trade clause. So let's make it sound good and throw it in there.
Yeah, they're not going to go anywhere they don't want to go. So
no, and you're not going to like if the Titans wanted to trade Derrick Henry, whatever, and they wanted to send him to Houston, and he's like, yeah, I'm not going to play for them. I'm going to quit before I play for them. Like you're not going to trade him,
right? I mean, it's like so what is he? He's the highest paid Philadelphia Eagle ever. Is that what I heard?
I mean, he's the highest paid
player. Period.
Well, yeah, highest paid player. Yeah, I mean,
all of them.
It's
Peyton
incredible.
Manning, Tom Brady,
there's just been. It's hard for me to wrap my head around.
I know.
That. When I heard that, what I thought was the Philadelphia Eagles stat, but I guess I couldn't get it through my skull that actually he's the highest paid player.
It just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't to me. And I mean, I'm just, hey, at least, in college, Nick Saban has a clause written into his contract that anytime a coach gets paid more than him, he automatically gets a raise. So I wonder if there are quarterbacks out there that have similar,
like Patrick
clauses.
Mahomes.
Yeah, the guy.
If they said that about Mahomes, I wouldn't be shocked.
No, I wouldn't.
I'll tell you right now, the Kansas City and their general manager and Andy Reid are going, please God, don't come in here every time there's a contract and demand, because we got to give it to him. Like you have to give it to him.
There's no
these early signings to me are smart. If you think you got the guy, sign him now, because because that salary cap is going to go up, because the quarterbacks are a certain percentage, give or take, about that. This year, it's $225 million. Next year, $250 million. By 2025, in just 2 years, the cap is projected to be at $272 million. I'm telling you, in 2 years, guys, we're going to see a $70 million contract. If you wait longer than that, 2027, only 4 years from now, the cap projection, $328 million.
I have a feeling they're going to have to back up the Brinks trucks in Jacksonville.
They need to do it today.
I really do, man. I mean, what can the Jags get any better than what they have? I'm not saying Trevor Lawrence is the best quarterback in the league, but they can't afford to say no to Trevor.
No, they can't. Well, I mean, I think that was my point. Is like, do I think that Jalen Hurts is? I mean, I'm just being honest here. Do I think he's worth that amount of money? No, I don't. And it's not because he's good, or not any good. But I think that if you have a good quarterback right now, you got to make sure you keep him, because there are people throwing stupid amounts of money out there.
And Brad, you're right. It's exact, like, if you've got a guy, doesn't have to be a top 5 guy, you've got to keep him. Like, but I'm serious. Like, if I'm Jacksonville, maybe halfway through this year, at the end of this year, like, go out and sign this guy, because it is going to be he's going to be expensive, but man, in 2 years, it's going to be ridiculous.
Super expensive. Yeah. Well, they're not the only team that's signing quarterbacks. The Kansas City Chiefs have signed a quarterback, and apparently they can't get enough of ex-Jags quarterbacks. They signed Blaine Gabbert, and he retires, and they replace him with Gabbert.
I guess I wasn't really – I wasn't actually aware that Blaine Gabbert was still in the league.
He's wearing.
I don't know.
He was the backup down there in Tampa for Tom Brady.
I mean, that's why I didn't know he was still in the league, because there was just never any chance for him to ever see the field.
Kyle Trask.
Oh, good Lord. I don't know what to say. I mean, what is it about
first
these guys?
round pick Blaine Gabbert is now in Kansas City.
Former first round.
I mean, that's what goes to show you. We're talking about all these quarterbacks going potentially in the first round. It's like, yeah,
okay.
You just throw a bunch of shit against the wall and see what's
still like 25% that they'll be good.
Golly.
You've got to, man. Like, if you don't have a quarterback, that's why I'm down for the Malik thing. If you've got a guy if you don't have the guy, and there's a guy in the third round that you think might be the guy, every year you got to draft him, because it's just so important every year.
I got one more nugget from the NFL before I turn it over to you guys about any topics. Let's go down to Miami. Tua told, I believe it was Pro Football Talk, he said, I mulled retirement last year, and now I've learned how to fall. Blake, is he one hit away from Miami calling Tom Brady on the emergency phone?
The short answer is yes. The longer answer is, I mean, absolutely, because I mean, once you start having multiple concussions, particularly in 1 year, I think you're way more susceptible to having more, and you're almost guaranteed to have CTE now, and it's really, I think it's irresponsible of the Miami Dolphins, quite frankly, and the whole business about him learning to fall. I mean, come on, man.
How to fall, Parker.
So I was going to save this for my final thought, but I'm going to leave it to you right. No. Give it to you right now. It's as simple as this. Tom Brady is going to be playing quarterback and taking snaps for the Miami Dolphins this year, because after 4 games, learning how to fall, if someone takes your head off, that doesn't count for anything for learning how to fall when Matthew Judon's coming at you down the middle. Tom Brady, they already had this worked out a couple of years ago. That's why Miami doesn't have a pick this year. There's only 31 picks in the first round, because they colluded to get Brady. So they already won him. He's already there. His kids go to school there. They're going to pick up the phone, I guarantee you, right now. Book it.
Hey, Parker's already put money on it on FanDuel and DraftKings alike.
My God. Look out below. Nuclear fallout coming here.
What else do we got, man? Big Jeff is signed.
Finally, right?
Big Jeff signed a little
Big
deal.
Jeff signed.
Very emotional. I mean, that's the kind of player I want in my locker room.
Yeah, I mean,
someone that gives a damn.
The guy wanted to be here, wants to be here. I mean, that's what this organization needs. We needed that nucleus. We needed that guy who really cared. We put all the Kevin Byard rumors to bed. It sounds like, anyway. I still think there's usually, in general, where there's smoke, there's fire. I mean, they can say they put it to bed. I can't imagine that there wasn't at least something there. But at the same time, you got to consider the freaking source. Whenever you get your information from dipshits like Jared Stillman.
Oh, Jay,
calling him out right now. Let's go. I mean, that's what happens. So,
thank God they finally signed somebody that they drafted from the first round. Like, yes, I'm not going to look at the last 2 years because it's so new. Who knows? But we go before that. Isaiah Wilson. Yeah, well, that worked out well. Jeffrey Simmons signed. Rashawn Evans gone. Adoree Jackson gone. Corey Davis gone. Jack Conklin gone. Marcus Mariota gone. You go back to 2014. Taylor Lewan, they signed to a contract. So it's just nice to have somebody that you get in the first round, and everybody loves Big Jeff.
Man,
yeah.
Lots of artillery incoming here.
Totally agree. What about a little, I'm going to do a little slider. We'll get away from the NFL.
Little cut piece.
I want to talk about Phil. What do you think about Phil's appearance at the Masters?
Oh, man.
Now, what a Sunday.
So
nothing? Was it expected? I mean, old Phil comes roaring up there.
That is the best round of golf that Phil has played probably in 3 years.
He had nothing to lose, man. I mean, shoot it at pins.
I'm going to be honest with you. and this could be an unpopular opinion for professional players. Tee to green, Augusta is easy. Get that ball on that green, it's a different animal. If you can get the ball close, if you can roll a few putts in, if you know where to hit the ball, it's one of the only courses in the world probably that experience plays that big of a role in. There's a reason that all these old fogies go out there and they make the cut and they start creeping up the leaderboard on Sunday, because the back nine on Sunday, you can go super stupid low and crazy shit can happen. And I think that's what ended up happening with Phil.
I think Blake is exactly right. This is one of those courses that is experience matters. It's why you don't ever bet on the rookies out there or the second-year guy out there. There's a reason why Tiger, who can barely walk, makes the cut. There's a reason why Jim Furyk, who doesn't have a back, makes the cut. There's a reason why Bubba Watson usually plays there. These guys know where to hit it. And it just – Phil's played it, man. He's been out there like 27 times. So, yeah, it's experience. It may not matter any more than any other course that it does in Augusta.
Yep. Yep. Congratulations to John Rahm, though. I don't want the Phil crap to overshadow someone.
No congratulations to Koepka. The little participation prize.
Again. I mean, he's probably. I mean, hey, they're filming season 2 right now, so they got they got that on season 2. For full swing, so I'm sure we'll get to hear all about the collapse and how it was everybody else's fault, how it was the slow play and all this other crap and all this other little bitchy whining.
A little bit of wind.
I mean, come on,
there's
man.
Mud on his balls.
There's always something. It's always something. I mean, his wife's probably going to leave him now because he,
she's already gone.
He rolled over and died.
Yeah, when he came out with those frosted tips, she was done, out.
Oh God, yeah.
I was and it was in Knoxville, an outdoor bar watching this it was packed. There was hundreds of people there. I have never seen so many people collectively root for a non-American to win the Masters, and it was incredible. I had to talk to the only guy that was cheering for Koepka was beside me, and I had to educate him on how stupid he was, because he just doesn't play. Koepka doesn't play in front of crowds. I tweeted it before the day happened, like, hey, he's going to have to play in front of people today. Good luck with that. And the best stat out of all the Masters about Koepka, because I think he has just got, he is a head case. Somebody needs to check on that guy. I've tweeted this out right before. In the history of major championship golf, someone has gotten to 12 under, including this year, after 36 holes 12 times. Of the previous 11, 9 have won. The only one to fail twice, the head of Live Golf, Greg Norman, and now a third, his protege, Brooks Koepka.
Whoo! Parker's bringing the heat today.
Building a winning tradition.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's it's amazing to me. Netflix must be giving the Live Tour amazing amounts of money because it's got to be the only thing that's keeping them in business. Outside of their Saudi blood money. But
that helps.
that does help. But at the same time, it's just like that's the only publicity that this tour gets. It really is. It's a joke. It's an absolute joke. I think Greg Norman is a joke. Is it good for golf that they're there? Yeah, it's going to end up being great because they're all going to get paid more. And the guys that jump ship to Live are going to, go down in history as making the biggest blunder that they could have ever made in their career.
I love it.
I got nothing to add to that. Any other sports topics that stood out while we were away that you just want to get off your chest? We had a NCAA champion crown at basketball. Do we even remember who won?
I don't, I don't know.
Baseball has started.
Yeah, baseball has started. Were we gone for the World Baseball Classic?
We were
here some of it. We were
for the championship.
You got a little clip for us?
Oh, I most certainly do. I think everybody remembers it, but it's well worth a look. He said, so yeah, Japan came out and absolutely just dominated, right? It was pretty impressive. The last out of the game, Shohei Ohtani versus Mike Trout. Ohtani, quite frankly, mowed his ass down. It was impressive. Hats off to them. Yeah, college baseball started too. Tennessee is an absolute nosedive right now. Their baseball team is looking much like their basketball team, Parker. They got a lot of big names. They got a lot of firepower, but man, it is the most inconsistent stuff that I've ever seen. They've got some pretty good pitching, but you got to be able to put it all together, as we all know.
You know, I've seen some of the scores and stuff come up, but I've been so in depth with NFL that I haven't seen much college baseball. But I saw a stat after that World Baseball Classic that Mike Trout has only struck out, like whiffed it 3 times, struck out like 24 times in his entire career.
I just have to get this all. You want to know something? Get off my chest. The Angels, I don't even know what to call them anymore. The Anaheim Angels, LA Angels, whatever.
LAA.
Whatever. They don't deserve Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani
at the same time.
People don't understand. Mike Trout is the best player of this generation.
But they don't know him because he plays out in the West.
Like
if he played for the Mets, the Phillies, the Braves, even like something in the East, Boston.
There was some kind of crazy stat that I saw where whenever there's games that both Mike Trout and Ohtani homer in, they have a losing record or something stupid like that. It is insane to me. And oh, by the way, everybody needs to pay attention to baseball this offseason because there is going to be an enormous sweepstakes for Shohei Ohtani. He signed a 1-year deal for this year, and they're predicting something in the neighborhood of $500 or $600 million for his contract. And he might be worth it. He might be worth it.
That's insane. Blake, speaking about how you were talking about Mike Trout being the best player of this generation, I like to listen to like fake fantasy draft stuff. And I was listening to a baseball one the other day, like drafting the best team of all time. And the number 1 pick of all time was Mike Trout.
He's really good. There's very few people that hit for average, hit for power, who can steal bases and play defense at the level that he plays it at.
And I believe the Braves have one. Ronald Acuna Jr.
He is a fast rising star right now.
Does the name. That's something else happened while we were away.
Yep.
WrestleMania 39.
Here we go.
WrestleMania 39 happened. 2 nights of joy. Okay. This is something that can come to Nashville. If you build it, they will come. Parker's already talked about it. So combined with the 2 nights, 161,892 in attendance. For their views and social media, it says WrestleMania 39 became the most social WrestleMania of all time, with over 500 million views and 11 million hours consumed of video. Holy crap.
Man. That's a lot.
Is that the Peacock thing? Is it? I'm talking stupid here, but is that?
It is. Yeah, they have exclusive rights on the Peacock app, NBC family of apps. So it's now something else that's happened. It was literally the day after. The company that owns UFC has purchased WWE from Vince McMahon. So they're coming together. It's going to take them a couple of years to come up with a new platform because they have all these deals to fulfill already. But could be some changes in the pipeline.
What is Zupa? Is it Zupa still? Something like that?
I just saw they wanted to be able to join on DraftKings or FanDuel, and I didn't understand that.
Oh, they do DraftKings things on every premium live event that they have.
Yeah. Oh, they did. No, on WWE, on WWE?
Yeah. You're just as confused as I am.
Yeah, WWE. DraftKings lets you play along for free.
I don't understand either.
And they will say, okay, so how many chair shots will be in this match? Over or under 3.
Sounds like
Yeah.
a loaded bet. It really does. It sounds like a loaded bet.
If I'm in the back, like backstage, I'm like, how much can I?
Yeah, really, that's what I'm saying.
I want to hit you with that damn chair 4 times to get the over.
Got an earpiece in. Hey, hit him one more time. Oh, yeah. What else? Hey, spring games happen, fellas.
Oh,
spring games happen.
And I read that the Florida Gators offense looked dreadful.
What I heard was there is trouble in Gainesville right now after that spring game.
It was a bad performance. They're playing against air.
They think that they're in trouble right now.
Do you know they're in trouble because they got Graham Mertz transferring down there, who's just trash.
Oh my God.
I mean, what else happened? The Longhorns have stated that Quinn Ewers will be their number one starter.
Does this put Manning in a redshirt year, Parker? Or is he going to be backup? I think he redshirt.
I think he does too. I mean, absolutely.
I watched some of the highlights. Dude, he looked like an 18-year-old kid out there playing.
Yeah, that's because that's what he is.
I mean, he looked like a kid that hadn't been on campus that long.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a lot of talent. You can tell.
People are coming down on that clip. Like, man, it's his first thing. Like Bryce Young's first pass in that was a interception. You know, like just it doesn't mean anything.
I mean, no one really truly. If you thought that Arch Manning was going to go there and start day one, you are insane. I mean, no one expects him to be the starter. No one expects Nico at Tennessee to be the starter.
Nico's not.
I mean, and Nico has accepted that. He has accepted that I need to learn this offense and I need to grow.
I want to know from you two, what did you guys see at wide receiver in this scrimmage game in Knoxville? Because we know your boy's going to be throwing missiles. Who's catching them?
Well, Squirrel's going to be a big target.
Squirrel, okay.
He's going to be he's going to be a vertical target for him. He's the fastest guy on the freaking field. You got Ramel Keaton that's going to be there. He's going to be kind of your big jump ball guy. Him and Brew McCoy. They'll kind of serve those roles.
I forgot about Brew. Hell yeah, I can hear the crowd right now.
Yeah, and they've got some transfer tight ends that have come in, some true freshman tight ends that I see them making a big role. But the big story, I think, is the running backs. Dylan Sampson, he is impressive, to say the least.
The answer who's going to be catching from Milton, maybe nobody, I mean but the one name to me, the big one is Brew, right? Like that's who he was, the number 2 guy going into last year.
Hell yeah. That makes sense.
I mean, they really hammered Hendon Hooker at the press days at the combine. It's a one read offense for the most part, but I think that kind of suits Joe Milton. If it's not there, put your 6'5", 245-pound shoulder down and run. And you'll see him run a little bit more of the power game instead of the speed game like Hendon. But I think he'll do okay. And I think it's unfair to expect him to step in and do the exact same thing that Hendon Hooker did. But I think he'll do fine.
And speaking, I don't know if you heard it in the short, I just dug up an incredible stat about a one-read offense. It is literally drop back, pass it to the open guy. Last year, Hendon Hooker had to throw to his number 2 guy 14 times. All year.
Yeah.
All year.
I mean, but that's the key, the beauty of that.
No, it's great.
I mean, it works in college.
Scheme them open
because
they already know where it's going.
These college cornerbacks can't really handle that first initial move. So
you go back and watch some of that tape, dude. Half the field when they know it's not going over there, some of the receivers
they take a play off. Yeah,
just standing there. Yeah,
they literally take a play off. So, yeah, a lot of interesting stuff, but that's all I got. You got anything over there?
I'm good.
You ready to go here?
Ready,
all right,
ready.
Well, good.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks for joining us again tonight, guys. Really appreciate you. For those of you who are new, hey, we are the dudes discussing sports. Blake Melton, Bradley Newberry, and Matthew Parker. Please check us out on our social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at DDS Sports Talk. You can download the audio versions of all these podcasts on your favorite podcasting platform. Please like and share this video. Really appreciate you guys. But Newberry, it's time for your favorite part of the show. It is time for Final Thoughts.
Final Thoughts. I'm going to Buffalo. And Mr. Hamlin, General Manager Brandon Beane, announced earlier this week that Hamlin was medically cleared to return to football after we all saw and witnessed what happened. Is it right there? Damar Hamlin back on the NFL field soon. I say congratulations. I still have a little fear. Is it too early? I don't know. I don't know any better, but congratulations on getting medically cleared, because this is what he wants to do, man. He's spent this whole downtime raising awareness, raising money for charity. He just wants to play football. He's a kid. He wants to play some games. Wish the best for him.
Good for him. And all that money he raised, those charities should immediately go out and bet Damar Hamlin to win Comeback Player of the Year, because it is a lock. 100% done. He plays one snap, he's winning that.
Yeah, totally agree.
But since my Tom Brady win went earlier, I'll go with another little hot take for my final thought here. I believe that either Aaron Rodgers or Mac Jones will take snaps for the San Francisco 49ers this year.
Oh, boy. I don't really know what to say about that.
Can I piggyback on that one?
Go for it.
I think there's a better chance that Ben Roethlisberger comes out of retirement and plays for the 49ers.
Man, I don't know about that.
Yes.
I've got a reason to my madness. I've got a reason to it.
Yeah, man, look, I don't have too much here, but I am going to be the total nerd dad here. Shout out to the Braves here. The 10U Braves last night whipping that ass on the diamond, 14-4.
Oh, jeez.
After 4 innings, run ruled that
them.
ass. I mean, it was merciless. There was no mercy whatsoever. We had parents. Merciless. There were parents crying in the stands and disowning their children. Yes. And I could not have been more proud as a coach and as a father. But for Bradley Newberry,
chop on.
For Bradley Newberry, for Matthew Parker, I'll let Bradley do his thing here for this team here. He can holler it out if he wants to.
Not yet.
Okay, well, hey, it's all good, man. Hey, but for me and Parker, it is two-tone blue all the way. You guys be well.